Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this lesson we're going to be talking about nesting with Sass. So nesting basically allows us to nest CSS selectors much like how we would nest our HTML elements. So if we were to go over to our HTML file, let's take this nav element for example. We have this nav element, and then nested within that we have the UL. And then nested within the UL, we have these three LI elements. And with that, we can do the same thing with Sass. So let me uncomment this code right here. We have this, oops, let me save that. We have the selector called nav, and then nested within that selector, we have a selector called UL. And then within that, we have LI. And if I were to compile this to CSS myself, let me type it out real quick. So nav would be nav, and then it would say, let me just copy the stuff right here. I don't want to bore you guys typing all this out. And then there's nav. There's all the properties for nav. Then next would be for UL. So I would have to type down nav UL, and then I do the brackets, and then let me just get that property background pink, and then last is LI. You could do nav LI or nav UL LI. It's whatever, but I'm going to do nav UL LI because that's how the structure is on that top one right here. So we would say nav UL LI brackets and then background FFCA28. So as you can see, the top part right here is Sass, and the one on the bottom is regular CSS. You notice how much modular, how much better, how much it inherits the drive principle, the don't repeat yourself principle. Rather than having three selectors, we have one selector. Well, we have three selectors in here, but it's nested within one selector. It's parent selector. So we wouldn't have to write down like 5 of these just to get the styles for one element, this nav element right here. So now that we have that covered, let's delete this code right here and let's save this. Actually, let me comment this out for a second. Let's save this nav file. Let's save the SCSS file and then, show the compiled CSS. So this is what it is right now because I commented out the code for UL and LI. But right now, nav has the background of, I believe, red and then a padding of 10. If I were to refresh the page, then we would have the whole elements colored in red. Now let's uncomment the color for UL, the code for UL. Let's save that. Go over to style.css. Then right here we have nav UL. And it looks like it's nested, but it's actually not nested because there's the bracket for ending that nav is right there. Usually if we were to write regular CSS, we would have this down back like that, and then it would pretty much look like that. But it's looking like that because that's what the Node Sass module is doing. So now if we were to refresh this page, then we would get the pink as the UL would be pink. So this whole block right here. Now let's uncomment the code for the LI, save, and then we go over to the style.css, and then you notice that we have nav UL LI, and then we have the background color for it, which is orange, I believe. So if we refresh that page, then we have each of those elements orange. So that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next.